Hello and welcome back to Realm of Thrones 4.0. We're going to be attacking the Vale once again because here's the problem with them. We actually made peace with them at a staggering disparity in regards to how much money we were going to be paying them. So I decided, you know what, we're going to just spend a little bit of time off screen, let things settle down somewhat, and then we're going to go in again just to kind of take the last remnants of what the Vale has in Essos, which is in fact this. Now, unfortunately, they have a pretty significant force here, which is something... Oh, never mind. They've actually all just left. All right, well, that's perfectly fine then. That was weird. I guess those were all random neutral-ish parties, I suppose. Anyway, as you can see, all of my prisoners are now basically ready to join me, so if I ever have any kind of problem in regards to losing a huge amount of troops, well, I have instant recuperation of my army, basically. And, oh yeah, I did actually install the caravans, give trade experience mod, and this is absolutely fantastic. As you can see right here, it's actually making things extremely fun. Because, well, it's literally just leveling up my trade skill without me having to do anything. I do have 2 caravans running at the moment. Unfortunately, I don't have any focus points in trade, so I don't think I'm going to be able to level it all the way to 300, which is what I actually need to make it, to be able to barter settlements and stuff like that, which... For me personally, I think that that is one of the most fun mechanics in the entire game. I really do. I love that mechanic so much. It's just a shame that they nerfed it quite heavily in previous versions, or shall we say they've nerfed it from the previous version onward. And yeah, that was kind of sad to me, but obviously they had to make it they had to change it somehow, because otherwise it's going to be very, very strong. And it is still pretty strong, but only if you have a significant amount of cash, or you can force the opponent into accepting your agreement in some way or another, because, well, it used to be the way that you could just go into a barter with one of these guys, and you'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, I'd like to pay you, you know, X amount, whatever that X amount is, and you'd actually have a pretty decent time. Yeah, you'd actually have a pretty decent time of it, and it wouldn't be too difficult for you to you know, be able to enter that kind of agreement with that person, whoever it may be. But nowadays, it is a lot more difficult. It's basically a case of, yeah, if you get into a barter situation, it's going to be very difficult to make them either accept it for less than 1,000,000 gold or less than anything like that. And you are going to have some problems even doing that when dealing with people that are from an enemy as well, because you're not going to be able to actually even barter with them, as far as I'm aware. I don't think you can even barter with enemy vassals for their fiefs at the time. I think the only thing you can really do is attempt to persuade them to join your faction, and in that case, yeah, that's actually doable. Of course, that is actually doable, but that's, again, one of those times where you just think to yourself, yeah, is that even going to be doable? Because it is so incredibly expensive for that to happen. So it's highly unlikely that that would even work. But again, as I say, they've kind of nerfed these alternate methods of gaining territory into the ground, which is very sad to me, to be honest, because I personally feel like it would be amazing if we had a little bit more flexibility in that regard, you know, having the ability to choose how we approach a particular situation, I think would be amazing. But as it stands, most of the time, the developers apparently want you to just go straight on in, you know, do damage through battles and so on. And I'm actually kind of a bit wondering what is even happening right now. What is even happening with my forces? Can I actually just tell them to come in here? Can I tell them to come through the gates? Because someone actually mentioned on the previous episode, people were literally just going up and down the ladders over and over again and just getting absolutely murdered. And I wouldn't be surprised if they're actually doing that again. Thankfully, my forces are now entering here. Hopefully they're going to be able to kill some of these archers. And the enemy, as you can see, is just kind of chilling up there for some reason. Just doing some random stuff, whatever it might be. Doing some pretty decent damage to these people as well. Nice headshot right there. Another one as well. And now we can tell our forces to charge in. Hopefully they're going to be able to do something. As I say, it feels to me like they are a little bit too passive. But now that they are inside the walls, we should be able to do some pretty good damage. That's kind of what I'm hoping for, at least. I mean, if I can't do that, then I'm going to be infinitely sad. But it seems like, no, things are actually working quite well for us now. I mean, it's actually kind of surprising that I have to do that in the first place, because we have basically an army of full tier 5s, tier 6s, right? So we literally have probably the best army that you could ever have, unless you have, you know, specific units that you're looking out for, because obviously I've just recruited as many random units as I can get my hands on. Whichever unit has come across, you know, my path, I've basically just decided, yeah, you know what, we're just going to recruit them because they are a high tier, and that's basically it. Haven't really done that much selective choice, you know, so, you know, if there's someone that's a tier 5, usually I'll take them if they look relatively good. Doesn't matter what kind of unit they are. Whereas we could, in actuality, be absolutely terrible. So there is also that to consider, but I just don't think that we would be losing 38 troops if we were, you know, actually doing this properly. If the AI was actually doing this properly instead of just, you know, getting themselves killed. And it feels to me like they are indeed doing that. They are, I don't know, being a little bit too passive, or just basically bugging out or glitching in some respect or another. And that's very sad because, you know, you obviously don't want your AI friends, you know, your allies who you're relying on in a siege, because let's face it, if you're playing a team game, let's say that, I don't know, let's say that you're playing some kind of first-person shooter co-op experience or whatever, and you're literally in a situation where you have to rely on other people to do their jobs, or at the very least to play at a significant level, at some kind of level that is going to give you the victory, or, you know, you have to work together to make your team, you know, achieve what you want to achieve in that particular situation. And in our case, obviously, that is doing a siege. And if you have people that are not doing that, then, well, this is kind of what happens, where you end up losing huge amounts of people, and it actually just impacts yourself rather than the AI, because let's face it, the AI doesn't care whether they lose people or not, do they? They don't care at all about that. So that's what's really funny to me. Anyway, there we go. We can now vote for the new owner of this. It's not going to be me, that's for sure. Look at this guy. He hates me so much. Why does this guy hate me so much? It's so funny as well, because I've literally been attempting to schmooze with the stalwart shields for quite some time, but they just don't like me at all. They just don't like me at all. So I'm just going to get some relation with Mr. Duckfield right here. I think that seems like a better idea, considering. And this is our current combat strength, as you can see. The Vale is literally nowhere near as powerful as we are, but for some reason we are consistently making peace with them for no reason whatsoever. I have no idea why we would decide to make peace with them. It has, well, basically no logical meaning whatsoever, and it's very strange, because usually you'd expect AI to be quite logical in their decision making. But every single time they have made peace, it has been absolutely preposterous and a bit and very ridiculous, actually. I don't know why they do that. Alright, so I actually just ran into this guy because I wasn't actually I wasn't expecting, not inspecting, but I wasn't expecting to run into anyone at all on the field here, because I thought to myself, nah, the Vale's going to take quite some time to come over here. But apparently they've just taken Celtigar Keep from Dragonstone, or at least it looks as though they have taken that from Dragonstone. So yes, no doubt they did have an army relatively close by. Now, unfortunately, I am now going to have to meet this guy on the field of battle. We're going to just avoid his attack. Thank you very much. And then, well, that was a nice slash. And there we go. So I'm very much hoping that this is not going to bug out again and actually allow me to leave. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we can now leave. I am going to be going towards celtigar Keep. Hopefully he's not going to chase me. No, he is actually leaving me alone, surprisingly enough. And he's going to go to Rios to besiege it, which is to be expected, of course. Please do not get attacked, Drin. As you can see, that's one of my caravans, and I would like to prefer to think that he's going to be a little bit smart about it. And as you can see, look at this, Duskendale has now been besieged by Dragonstone, so this is actually perfect timing for us, because what we can actually do is, apart from the fact that we can, of course, go and do some damage to the Vale themselves, because let's face it, they are quite strong still, even though we have eliminated quite a few of their vassals through the use of executions. But apart from that, we obviously want to make sure that we continue our crusade against them, so that we can launch even more effective attacks against Dragonstone in the future. Because if we can eliminate them, or eliminate the Vale as much as possible, then we're going to have a much easier time of dealing with Dragonstone as well. So we can only hope that to be the case. I don't know whether that's even going to be possible, to be honest, because, let's face it, you know, sometimes things just don't go according to plan, and I think I may have also, by the way, figured out why Daenerys likes to make peace quite fast. And the reason why she does that is because, technically, according to the game's logic, we are at war against multiple opponents, and because one faction being at war against multiple people is a big no-no in the mind of the AI, you know, usually they'll think, oh yeah, I really don't want to be at war against multiple factions. They're then going to make peace, right? However, the people that they're actually at war against are mere clans. They are literally just clans, and that is it. They're not actually at war against any faction whatsoever. So that is indeed, in my opinion at least, the reason why Daenerys makes peace, because those clans are kind of acting as additional enemies, and those additional enemies are then causing Daenerys to think, oh, I need to make peace. And so that is forcing her into that situation, because her code is just like, yeah, I need to make sure that we're not at war against multiple opponents, because otherwise we're going to get murdered. And it doesn't show it, I don't believe, on our diplomacy screen. No, it doesn't show it, as you can see right here. I don't think so, at least. Does it? No, I don't think so. But yeah, we are actually at war against a number of clans. Well, maybe we can check the encyclopedia, actually. Maybe the encyclopedia... This is the guy that's running my other caravan, by the way, which is hilarious in itself. But yeah, otherwise, are we at war against... yes, as you can see, look at this. This is who we are at war against, if you can believe it. We are at war against every single one of these... you know, factions, quote unquote. You know, they're not actually factions, they're just, you know, clans and their members, and that's basically it. And that is the reason, in my opinion at least, why Daenerys is making peace so incredibly quickly, because she believes that apart from the Vale, we're at war against, I don't know, 10 different people. And she can only make peace against the Vale. And so that is the reason why that's happening, or at least that's my theory, at the very least. So, okay, so here we go. I'm going to actually execute. I'm going to execute this guy, of course, as you might expect. That is what we are going to continue doing as much as we possibly can. And we will continue going in against our opponents here. Oh, hello, Edmund. Oh, dear. Okay, yeah, we might not have a pretty... We might not have a good time here. Can we... Oh... I really want to get her into a battle. I don't think I can, unfortunately. Oh, hello. What are you doing? Wow, he's just been completely left out in the cold by the looks of things. All right, I'm going to do something here. I'm going to just do a little bit of something. Unfortunately, this fellow is actually a minor faction. I think he's part of a minor faction, so he's not really going to be that useful for me to execute here. Let me just take a quick look and see whether that is indeed the case. Yes, he is indeed a mercenary. The Windblown are mercenaries, as you could see. The Tattered Prince is the leader of them. Unfortunately for him, I will be executing him. This is not going to actually do anything for me, though, which is, again, unfortunate as well. As, you know, they're hard-coded to survive over and over again, so very unlikely we're going to be able to do anything there. But once Edmund's army has gone by... Oh, are you serious? You better not. Traveling to Pentos. There we go, there we go. Okay, now we can actually make our way over here, and we can hopefully take Celtigar Keep. That was actually my main purpose with going across here, because I saw that it was actually part of the Vale, and I was thinking to myself, okay, maybe it's weak, you know, maybe the garrison isn't really that strong. Oh, it is actually strong. Well, unfortunately, it looks as though Celtigar Keep has a pretty large garrison, and they also have 16 days worth of food. Obviously, I could have purchased a huge amount of their food and then gone in after that, but I didn't really want to take that time. That is the main problem here now, because time is a big factor. We don't want one of those massive armies coming along and basically saying, hey, you can't do this, you know, sort of thing. And that's the reason why we have to go in here right away. And there is also a peace agreement coming through. Oh yeah, by the way, someone wanted us to go to a marketplace and try to buy some really good gear and all that stuff. And I did do that for one of my companions, and hilariously enough, the others all seem to have upgraded themselves in very good stuff as it is, because when you know, that time long ago when I went off screen for, like, I don't even know, 2 in-game years or however much it was, I actually upgraded a bunch of our companions at that point, and apparently that armor is still relatively good for them, and I haven't been able to find anything better. So they are absolutely fine. The only person that isn't really looking particularly good is Drin, and he is indeed a caravan master, so we shouldn't have to worry about him too much. But next time he gets defeated and we take him back into our party and get another one, you know, get another one running, I will try to kit him out into some better stuff, potentially. Anyway, here we go. Let's go in here. We're gonna have to do a lot more well, a lot more dragon stuff in this one, because I've actually been kind of having a lot of fun using my two-handed, but I think I will have to use my dragon more, at least here, because these enemies are, they're going to be difficult, so let's just say that. They're going to be quite difficult, so let me just see if I can do some damage here. Oh, this is going to be insane. Wow, that much... Yeah, okay, we're just getting absolutely murdered as well. My dragon is literally just taking so much damage because, again, the dragons are not actually invincible. They are strong, you know, as I've said multiple times now. They are strong, but they are definitely not invincible. Okay, can we actually do something here? Maybe. A little bit. Oh, the amount of maneuverability this thing has is absolutely awful, but, you know, it's probably just me, to be fair. Okay, let me see if I can do some more damage here. Oh, there goes my dragon. Okay, well, it should be fine. Oh, wow, I can't even see anything because of the fire. Okay, there we are. Alright, well, my forces have actually started to leak into the castle, which is actually very nice, because we kind of need them. This is not good, though. The way this is going is not very good at all. These guys all have shields, and they're all using them, which is annoying in itself. Oh, are you serious? Okay, fine. I'm just going to run out here then. I don't know why they're all chasing me. Why are they why are they all chasing me? Are you serious? I'm not even the most important person here. Am I? Am I? Maybe I am. Oh well. I don't feel like it. That's for sure. telling my forces to hold position inside the walls over there in the courtyard, because hopefully we'll be able to do something relatively similar to last time, where we actually got my people to go into the courtyard itself and then spread out from there, because that feels to me like maybe the best strategy at the moment. We really don't want our forces going up the ladders and being absolutely just awful, you know, because they are generally tending to be quite bad at dealing with that. Hopefully I'm not going to get myself killed either. I am taking some pretty significant damage from all angles at the moment, because the archers are firing at me from both. Yeah, as you can see right there, took a slash to the head. That is not particularly good, especially considering we are now going to have to take over one of my other people. I'm not sure if we're even going to be able to achieve victory here. It doesn't actually look like this is going to happen. So we're going to have to retreat, which is very sad. Yeah. Yeah, now this is indeed the problem. Obviously, I didn't want to really call for an army, because we do need a bunch of people to defend against the overwhelming Vale armies coming in, and we really don't want to lose things either. You got to bear that in mind. We don't want to lose fiefs. But the main problem is all of these fiefs right here are extremely well defended. Surprisingly enough, I'm actually really weirded out by that, because I believe celtigar was indeed part of Dragonstone. I mean, you can see that from the culture, of course. This is 370, so even taking this would be, well, somewhat ill-advised, I suppose. And there's Benjen. Is that how you say his name? I don't even know. Benjen? I don't know. Well, whatever the case, yeah, he has leveled up now, and we can actually take this guy. Hopefully we can take him on. And we've taken Pentos once again. The difficulties and the trials and tribulations of actually dealing with such a large force when the AI is not cooperating at all. I mean, you've seen how effective, or how ineffective in this case, they have been in the various varieties of siege combat that we've had so far. And I'm actually kind of shocked, to be honest. Usually I wouldn't expect them to be that bad, but they have actually been much worse than I have ever seen them. And I'm actually not sure what's going on with that, to be honest. I'm very, very surprised. Because usually what I would expect from them is something like, okay, yeah, you know, they're gonna take some casualties going up the ladders because of the inevitable archer volleys that are going to be firing at them. And that's pretty much it. You know, that's usually the majority of the casualties that we're going to be seeing. However, what's actually happening is that our people are doing that thing that we've seen the AI do when we've been in a siege defense, where the AI will literally just go up the ladder, kill a bunch of people, clear out the battlement, and then they'll basically just leave that area completely alone, or they'll just stand there doing nothing. And that is the kind of thing that I believe the AI on my side is doing at this point in time whenever we go into one of these sieges. And that in itself is absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. Because what are we supposed to do? You know, what are we supposed to do about that? Well, we can't really do much, can we? It's literally just a case of, well, crossing our fingers and basically just hoping that they are going to do something properly in that moment. And that is pretty much it, which is really, really bad. You know, you shouldn't have to cross your fingers and hope that your AI friends are actually going to do what they're supposed to do. But no, it seems as though indeed I do. Indeed, that is what I need to do. So, very sad indeed. Anyway, we can just level these guys up. We are going to lose a, well, handful of troops, potentially. Maybe we can go back into Celtigar Keep now that we are a little bit more... yeah, a little bit more... Oh, wow. They have 800 again? How do they have 800 again already? That's actually incredible. I guess we did eliminate quite a few of them, didn't we? I thought we eliminated quite a few, even if we didn't kill them with the dragon, because obviously the dragon does not actually knock people out completely. It literally just causes them wounds. It doesn't actually kill them. So that's That's kind of sad, actually. That is actually kind of sad. Oh, hello. Wait a minute, wait a minute. I do just need to execute this guy. Want to make sure that we have the advantage in the future. And he was fielding a relatively large army. This fellow... Oh, wow. There's a bunch of people, actually, in this area. Okay. Ooh, this is a large army. I'm not sure if we're even going to be able to do this. The last Ayla that I've known is from Skyrim. Oh yeah, she reminds me of that character. Anyway, 471. If we can capture these people, this should be a pretty decent execution target, potentially. As you can see, my trade skill has now basically capped out. I am nowhere near level 45, but this is where it gets absolutely impossible to level up. So I'm actually wondering whether I should maybe... I don't know, maybe I can try to respec myself or something like that. I don't know whether that's even a good idea, but it feels to me like maybe we should try it. I don't know. Because if we do that and we get some trade skill, then we might be able to have some fun with that particular perk. But I don't know, it didn't really build my character as a trader, so at least initially, that's what I mean. So maybe it would be unrealistic if all of a sudden he has those skills, you know what I mean? So maybe not the best idea. We're just going to do some damage here, and then we're just going to tell every one of my cavalry to charge in. We've got two different separate little bands of cavalry, and hopefully they're going to be able to do something here. We're just going to do a big globule of attack. 150 seems like a pretty decent number. I'll just try and kill a couple more of their cavalry here. And then we will tell our infantry to charge in as well. And then I will see what we can do. Soren's actually using her dragon's breath as well, which is very nice to see. I love that. It's always extremely fun to see that. Someone else using it, that is. And maybe we can get off our mount in a second and see what we can do. Oh, there's a bunch more coming. Oh, there's a bunch more coming. Shall we just... Let's just go for it. Let's just go for it. I need to eliminate their cavalry. I mean, generally the Vale is known for having some very good cavalry, so it would be nice if we could eliminate them most of all. Just wish it would actually kill, but it doesn't actually do that, amusingly enough. Let me see now. I'm going to just get off here real fast. Okay, here we go. I've got a polearm. I should be able to make good use of it. Hopefully I'm going to be able to prevent enemies from killing me. Actually, I don't even think this has a thrusting attack, does it? Oh, it does. It does have a thrusting attack. Oh, okay. Well, that's actually kind of useful then. Well, these guys are proving to be rather troublesome to deal with. Is someone on my... Wait a minute. Is someone on my dragon right now? I see... Someone literally stole my dragon. Do you see that? And that is an enemy, as far as I'm aware. That is an actual enemy that is on my... Wait a minute. You're gonna get off here, sir. You're gonna get off here. I'm gonna shoot you. I am gonna take you down, sir, no matter what. Oh, I don't think I can, actually. This is extremely difficult. Okay. Well, this is certainly not what I anticipated. Apparently someone literally got on my dragon. That is very funny. I would not have expected that in a million years, but apparently they have. Let me see if I can kill this guy, though. Oh, that is the most frustrating thing in the world. Look at what is actually happening right now. Okay, there we go. Actually hit the guy in the leg. Okay, he actually retreated as far as I'm aware. Okay, I have no idea. I have no idea who was on that. I was trying to kill him so that I could see who actually did that, but I can't believe it. I can't believe it. That is absolutely incredible that someone even was even managing to do that, to be honest, because as I say, I think it's actually very difficult to get on the flying dragon, at least when it is on the battlefield. It's very difficult to get on it in general once you have gotten off. So yeah, very, very interesting that they were able to do that, and a huge testament to their I don't even know what, to be honest. I mean, that's actually amazing. Would not have expected that in a million years, but there you go. All right, well, that is, in fact, going to be it for this episode. We will attempt to take Celtigar Keep if the peace agreement doesn't go through. If I leave it here on the right side here, maybe it's going to just leave it in limbo as much as we possibly can, and hopefully I'll be able to take this, or at the very least, maybe I'll be able to starve them out a little bit in the meantime. Anyway, I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.